right, good morning.
Good morning.
At Stewart Middle School.
Here we are.
It's Mr. Sperry.
And Mr. Schutte.
We're here to do a little presentation on our new testing schedule.
Yeah.
It's kind of brand new.
In preparation for
OSAS.
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 Dun dun dun.
Bum, 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 bum. So we're gonna go through this process. There's a slide presentation that the 6th graders went through. The most 7th and 8th grade classes have gone through day one of this, but we're gonna lay this whole thing out. So just in case you're one of those people who decided to miss school, go with the 6th graders onto a field trip
or something.
I'm not to be too specific.
It's all good. We'll make it work.
So we're gonna start going through this, and you can see us down there at the bottom.
This could be archived then and used possibly in future years if we continue this system.
Yeah.
This could work.
We can't say anything right now that dates us.
Right.
Like the Eras tour just ended like a month ago.
Yes.
Can't say something like that.
Can't say that.
Okay.
Uh-uh.
All right. So there are 2 tests in English language arts and 2 tests in math. You have your CAT test, which is your
computer adaptive test.
So this is like you read a thing, you answer some multiple choice, maybe some short answer, maybe some audio answer.
Yep.
And then go. No, you go for it.
And then you have the performance test.
The performance test
follows that.
So in English language arts, the performance task is you're writing an essay.
Right.
Whether you like it or not.
Given a prompt.
And you go, hey, here's the details for this, and I'm gonna write an essay for that.
In math.
Yeah, what does the PT look like
in
math?
In math, it's like an extended problem. To call it a story problem or a word problem is not really correct. But it's one that involves multiple steps. Therefore, ergo, henceforth, needing multiple days to attempt to complete.
Okay, so it's like the math version of an essay.
Yes, exactly.
So you're going to be testing. This was the #1 question I got. When are we doing this testing? You're going to be testing with your AM core class. So with your AM core class. Not necessarily because we're talking about a new time schedule, but in your AM core class. So for 7th or 6th and 8th graders, that's first period.
Primero.
You'll be sitting in a room with your first period class. It'll feel normal in the morning. For 7th grade, that's going to be your 3rd period class. So in the morning, you'll go straight to your 3rd period class. So if you have Mr. Sperry 3rd period, you're going there
at the beginning of the day.
At
8:15.
Stroh, 3rd period, you go to Miss Stroh. 8:15. And this has a modified schedule to it. So we're going to show you that schedule right now. So this is the testing class schedule for testing. You're going to notice, if you look at the 6th, 7th, and 8th grade, we have testing in the morning from 8:15 till 9:30 every day during testing weeks.
Which is important because it's the beginning of the day.
Very beginning.
Which means for those of you that like to saunter in.
And saunter is not a brisk pace.
Around 8:30, you're going to miss that testing window start time.
Yes.
And what's important for you to understand is that if my class has started testing at 8:15, like we're supposed to, following the directions and following the program, we're not going to be allowing distractions to be entering in late.
Yeah. So this causes real problems if you come in late. So please be here by 8 o'clock so we can let you in at 8:05 and you are in your class by 8:15.
Ready to go.
Or 8:10. We let them in at 8:10, right?
Yeah.
So we let you in at 8:10. Be ready to go
at
8:15. Okay, because we cannot afford to waste time on this.
The other part that I do sort of like about this schedule is, because if you say it with a schedule, then it sounds fancy,
very proper.
Right? It's fancy. Is that then we have still
every
classes.
Yes. So after testing's done, then you're like,
hey,
got that out of the way.
Off you go.
I'm going to go to first period.
Go to first period.
So for 6th and 8th grade,
we're just going to stay there.
Stay with your buddies.
But we're going to transition into
regular classes.
Stuff.
Yeah.
Right.
So it'll just be normal. And then there's one other difference.
Yes.
The class you had before lunch is now after lunch.
It's going to flip to after. Gotcha.
So 6th grade's going to have lunch and then flex instead of flex and lunch. 7th grade's going to have, what are we looking at here? Lunch, then flex.
Right.
Usually a flex before lunch.
Right.
And then 8th grade is going to have
a related arts.
A related
lunch,
arts.
Related arts.
That's kind of a cool schedule.
I don't mind it. That kind of goes back to the day.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
So that's how the schedule's going to work. And then related arts classes, just hold your breath and pray.
Buckle up.
It's going to be, it's right there
We're
on the
gonna
right-hand
send you.
side.
We're going to send you and you'll be fine.
And they'll be fine, and we'll
Yep.
be fine, and everybody's going to be fine. All right, go back to the slideshow. So now, there is a test for science, but
it's already happened.
already
And
done.
because it's only for 8th grade,
yeah. So
they handled it in their 8th grade science class.
and if they don't
time
know it,
frame.
there's problems. So
Right.
8th graders, if you didn't take the science test, talk to your science teacher.
Yeah.
We don't even need to spend more time on this.
Nope.
Next
Moving
slide.
There we go.
Opt-out students. So students who decide they're going to opt out, and this was an option where your parents can go, my kid's not taking the test. We're going to have stuff for you to do. Okay.
But and for clarification, they have to like fill out
It's
a form and all that jazz.
It's a process.
You go find it on the district website and you fill it all out, and it's not just a thing where it's like, oh no, my mom said I don't have to take it.
Correct.
Okay.
And the opt-out list is really short right now.
Right.
So, and for good reason.
Right.
I always tell my kids, just take the test. It's practice for taking tests.
It's just a process of
Yeah.
how do you handle it when it's yucky.
Yes, exactly.
Yep.
So if you are opted out, if you're one of those kids, we're gonna have stuff for you to do in your language arts. If you're in the language arts OSAS test, we'll have language arts stuff for you to do. If you're in the math one, we'll have math
That
science
stuff.
stuff for you to do.
Yep.
So don't even worry about being bored.
Funsies.
We'll have things for you to do. All right. Why is testing important? This is what kids don't know.
Yes.
I presented this and they were like,
It really
"What?"
doesn't matter anything.
So click that next slide, just the right arrow.
It's used throughout Oregon.
It's used throughout Oregon.
It's used to compare how we're doing
Yes.
to the rest of Oregon.
Yes.
Not just how we're doing,
Our
but
school gets graded
how our
on
student
this.
body. Yes.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
So we get a report card. So for
Yep.
those of you who don't know, our school gets a report card.
Right.
And it tells you, how good you're doing, how bad you're doing, whatever, blah, blah, blah.
Yep.
And then within the school, we use this thing. So we use this thing to determine your flex classes. We use this thing to determine where your core classes are.
Yep.
So like meaning, if you're gonna be in Mr. Sperry's language arts class, we use this test to determine that. We determine accelerated class placement for
Yep.
this. So it's like, if you're like, I'm moving a little faster than everybody, we use this test for that.
High school. High schools look at this and they say, hey, wait a minute. Do we have kids that just need a little help, need to do a little catch up? Do we have kids that are doing great and are turboing ahead of everybody and they need to go do stuff so we make sure that we're really pushing them? And
Like you might think,
it doesn't matter.
I should be in honors classes.
Right.
I should be in the freshman honors. But you know what?
I need a new schedule because
I'm honors. And they're gonna go, this
that
kid's
and a bag of
honors.
chips.
Then they look at your Smarter Balance
Yep.
scores. It doesn't say honors.
No, and if you made the decision to like turbo through and like,
Yeah.
I'm just gonna press on through.
It's my 8th grade year. I'm done.
That doesn't help.
So yeah. So if you're doing that, then you gotta take this test seriously if you want a good
So
place.
it is important. It is important to do your best.
Yes. And then we use it for other enrichment activities.
Yep.
So who looks at the scores? Students
get the
parents,
scores.
teachers, school districts.
Yep.
We use this to generate
That report card.
the school report card.
Yep.
So if we have schools in the district who get targeted by the state because they look at our OSAS scores and they're like,
Wait
you're
a minute. There's
you
an
need help in
area.
this area.
We need something to work on here.
So and they'll tell us
Yep.
when that happens to
They'll
us.
let us
So
know.
these scores go to lots of people who request them.
Yep.
This is only one way we look at you.
Yep.
We also use the iReady scores. We also use the Easy CBM
Yep.
scores. So when we give you these tests, when we give these standardized tests, it's so that we can place you where we need to place you. So for language arts, we look at OSAS and Easy CBM. For math, we look at OSAS and iReady. So
And it's one of those things where you might have a bad day.
Yes.
Right. And so putting all of our eggs per se in one basket
it's not a good
is
idea.
not a good idea.
Yeah.
We need to be able to take little samplings of how you're doing along the way.
Yes.
So that's where this is all come from.
All right, so we're gonna look at the process here of how we're gonna do this. So, thank you. Day one.
Perfect.
We're gonna become familiar with the test. Start with the CAT test. We're always starting with the computer adaptive test.
Start with the cat.
Okay, this is gonna warm your brain up, read the problem, see the questions, and answer them.
Yep.
Day two, continue with the CAT test.
Yep.
So right now we're looking at 2 full days of instruction and CAT test. Day 3 is where we start to transition if you finish the cat.
Right.
So then we make some more progress on the cat, or we finish up the cat, and if we finish the cat test, what should we do?
Then we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna start the performance
Go ahead and
test.
start the performance test.
Yep.
Yeah. So day 3, so we're looking at Wednesday of the week. This is a good transition time.
Yep.
Then we move on to day 4. Day 4, you should be in the PT. Day 5, you should be finishing up the PT. Maybe you're finishing up the cat. So just, you want to take it slow, but not too slow.
Right.
You want to make sure, if you follow this schedule, if you go, okay, first 2 days, I'm going to focus on the cat. Maybe tie some loose ends on day 3.
Yep.
Day 3, I'm going to start the PT. Just read the thing, maybe take some notes. Day 4 and 5, I'm full steam ahead for the PT. If
You know what I love about the PT? Is that because it is multiple days, you have the opportunity then to like take in the question, take in the problem, absorb it, let it get in there and marinate, ruminate.
Yes.
I don't know, something Mother Nate.
I love the
And
ruminate.
then as a
That's good.
result, then you start to develop your thoughts and you start to have ideas and then like Thursday, then they just start kind of going flowing out.
Yeah. Because if you try to just jump in and
Yeah.
just go, I'm going to answer this question
yeah, I know it,
because my brain says
I'm good to go. Good.
you're going to,
No.
problem. OSAS Day 2 preparation. Hit that next slide, Alex. Take your time. Okay, we've talked about this already.
Yep.
Take breaks.
Take breaks. And when we say take breaks, sometimes it just means
Take a deep breath. Maybe do one of these.
not necessarily, I need to go take a break and I go to the bathroom.
Right.
Because
And get a 3-course meal
and
from.
I gotta pause out and I gotta, all that stuff. It's a mess. So, but when we're saying take a break, sometimes you just need to, okay, hang on. I finished that one. 2 minutes. Refocus.
And I don't want to encourage you to take longer than the week that you have, but if for some reason you're one of those kids, and I was probably one of these kids, if it takes you a little longer, we're going to have availability for you to finish it.
Right.
But try to finish up in those 5 days. But yeah, take breaks. I've had kids who are just like, they clamshell the computer and they just go, start meditating maybe.
Don't do that.
You don't want to be falling asleep.
No.
So just take a break. And I think the other thing we need to focus on here is this next slide too.
Before we jump to this though, it's still there. I do want to mention the thing about the 20 days.
Yes.
Yes, you do have 20 days from go to reset. Nope, you should have done it faster. If you have absences in there and that, it's 20 calendar days.
Yes.
So it's not quite 3 weeks
right
to complete
right.
it. So just FYI.
So you know.
It's not 4 weeks worth of 5 days a week sort of stuff for school. That's the math side of it.
Correct.
Yeah. So
remember, these things are important right here. Get lots of sleep.
Yep.
You want to get a full 8 hours the night before.
These are important every day, though.
Every day, right.
Hello.
Yeah,
Come on now.
But especially for the test.
Okay.
Eat something healthy
Right.
for breakfast.
Yeah.
Grab that apple. Grab that granola bar. I mean, carbs are instant energy, right? So it's like maybe grab something with like some hardiness to it.
Yes.
Some hearty
Sustenance.
maybe some of the overnight oats that Miss Bussy is so fond of.
Stick-to-itiveness.
Yes.
Yeah.
It'll stick
Stick
in there.
to your
stick in
ribs
the
and hang with you for a while.
Eat a healthy breakfast. Bring your Chromebook fully
charged.
This is super
Exactly.
important. Chromebooks fully charged because we're not going to have a million plug outlets for you to plug into and charge during the test because the test is first thing in the morning.
charger. I don't have a charger.
No, I don't either.
Sorry.
So get some sleep, eat a healthy breakfast, bring your Chromebook and
Ready to
charger.
go. Take care of yourself.
Self-care for students.
Yep.
Organize your space. Stay hydrated. Get
Drink
plenty
water.
of sleep. Drink water. Don't do what Mr. Sperry does and drink Diet Pepsi all the time.
Ooh.
Take breaks to refuel. Spend time with your family and friends.
Ooh. Friends.
Healthy. So that's some good pointers for student healthcare. Meditate. Okay, get some alone time where it's quiet.
Move.
Move around.
Yes.
Get some mobility. Get those steps in. Okay, bring your Chromebook and charger. We can't emphasize this enough. Chromebook and charger. Make
Yes.
sure that Chromebook is fully charged.
Bingo.
Okay? Fully charged Chromebook means more success in testing. What not to bring?
Dun, dun, dun. Can we have the next slide, please? There you go. Perfect. Unauthorized stuff.
Unauthorized stuff. No cell phones.
Yep.
Bluetooth devices.
Yep.
Don't bring those Bluetooth headphones.
Yeah, because if you're going to be using, and I know my understanding is for the language arts side of things, there is a plug-in necessary to listen to stuff.
Yes.
And you will all be using the plug-in.
The cheapo
The
wired.
plug-in wired. Okay? Not, well, I only use my AirPods and I'll just connect.
And it's
No.
not connected to my phone.
No.
Which is in my pocket.
Right.
I mean, in my locker.
I mean,
Okay.
yeah.
So just make sure you're only going to be using authorized devices. So your Chromebook, your charger, headphones given to you by a teacher.
Yep.
No Bluetooth, no cell phones, none
Yep.
of that stuff. Okay? Just be keeping these items in your locker.
Yep.
Okay?
That's
you
where it
don't need them. Just put them in your locker. And I had a discussion with my Wolf Den about this.
Sure.
Even Wolf Den's a class. Put your
Yep.
phones in your locker. Okay, we talked about
Headphones?
this. Headphones are allowable.
Boom.
We're going to provide those for you so that you don't even need to worry
Scratch
about
paper. And when you're checking on your Chromebook, you're going to go to the apps in the bottom left. You're going
Apps
to go
in
to
the bottom
the
left.
secure test browser. What that does is that does the whole shut everything else down.
them. Yep.
And then state of Oregon, and then that's where you'll enter in your super secret numbers and your test session ID that
That's
your
it.
teacher
That's
will
it.
provide.
Yep.
Piece of cake.
So that ends our first 2 days of the presentation.
Dun dun dun.
We will be back with day 3, which is going to involve some looking at some data.
Some
it's going to
stuff.
involve looking at some scheduling, looking at some other stuff. So we will be back for that.